It's Lisa here from Business in Heels, and it's my absolute pleasure to introduce you to Robyn Foyster from Foyster Media, who's known as the magazine queen, and she's the owner and operator of Carousel and Women in Tech, or Women Love Tech. So, Robyn, tell us a little bit about how you made the amazing leap from being an editor of the major magazines to running your own business.
So yes, well, about 3 years ago, I was in the role of group publisher across Women's Day, Harper's Bazaar, Cosmo, Madison, Grazia, a number of different magazines, and I wasn't actually very involved in the digital side of things, and obviously magazines going through a bit of turmoil, and I thought to myself, you know what, if I don't really embrace digital and do something which I think the magazines were a bit slow on starting to do, then I'm going to be a dinosaur in my own industry, media. So and the idea of running my own business had always appealed to me, and coming out being the master of your own destiny. And I think at the time I was just shy of 50. And thinking, right, well, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? So it's a decision that I didn't regret, and I started up Foyster Media, and I'd done a lot of research about what was happening in the digital world for magazines, and here I am now.
That's amazing. So tell us, running a business is not easy, and clearly, in order to stay ahead of the crowd, which you continue to do, you're making some really bold moves, which of course fits in with International Women's Day. So tell us a little bit about some of the things you're being bold for change with.
Being bold for change. Well, one of the things I feel really strongly about is we can't just talk about things like there's not enough women on boards unless a number of us actually trying to get on boards and actually redress that balance, and whether that's doing the the appropriate courses or whatever. But at the moment I'm looking into actually becoming a non-executive board director of a board. So those conversations are confidential at the moment, but they're looking very promising. I think it's really important to mentor. I received fantastic mentorship, and I've had hundreds of women working for me over the years, and so as a result, I'm constantly in touch with various women who I encourage women to speak to me about if they need advice or anything, just so they don't make the mistakes I made, which is plenty.
Didn't we all? You've got to be a great learning.
I think even knowing that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And tell us a little bit about Game Changers, Robyn, because you do all sorts of stuff which really help women in business grow their business and become better known. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Game Changers is, we run a video series where the host is Sarah Harris from Studio 10 and Shark Tank. And it's a mixture of B2B and B2C. So what we do is a number of the different men and women actually that we interview, that are mainly women, have got businesses that they really want to profile. And we did the first series, and 4 of them, it's paid for models. So we basically do charge, but we have like a 3-camera shoot. We do a podcast from it. We give them the videos to then run on their own websites, which look very professional. You get the advocacy of it. But what it does is really draws out the story behind their businesses, so one woman in the first series was a woman I admired tremendously, Karen Adcock, and her story is really fantastic. She's Danish, and she found out about Pandora in Denmark, and literally asked for a license in Australia, and they said, well, we'll give you one go, and she got the license. And she ended up producing it originally from her garage in the northern beaches of Sydney. And anyway, years on, she's basically sold it. It was a $200 million business.
Wow.
And now she's got a new jewelry page called Alex and Arnie. And she needed to explain it because this particular jewellery range, which you'll start seeing in Westfields everywhere now, has lovely little mission statements and significant meanings of words that you pick that resonate with you. And importantly, 10% of the sales go to charity. And so she needed to get all that across. Yeah. And so she was one person that we interviewed. And then we always do a charity. We always do someone like we did our Ita Buttrose. We always do to promote a charity as part of it to, because that's us giving back as well. And so Ita spoke very eloquently about Alzheimer's and the role of a carer and her own personal experience with her father who suffered dementia.
Yeah, okay. That's amazing. I think video today is so important for small business to get their message across. And I think, clearly what you're doing is a great service as well as, helping charities. So you mentioned Northern Beaches. So you have a history with Business in Heels that goes back to Northern Beaches. So tell us where you started.
Yes, which is I was really privileged to be asked to open and be the guest speaker for the Business in Heels Northern Beaches area, and it was great. I met these most amazing women. I was very nervous about getting up and speaking, but and I talked about my sort of show busy background, and basically I'm actually working with a lot of women and become friends with the women that I met on that very day. So so I have an affinity with Business in Heels and really admire what you do, and I think that it's a clearly very professional and inspiring organisation led by yourself, Lisa, and Joe, and I'm really pleased to now be an ambassador because and sort of meet new women from Business in Heels.
Yeah, and we are delighted to have you on board as an ambassador. You stole my thunder, but that's all awesome. and clearly your speaking abilities come along in the years as you've been associated and growing your business. So Robyn is an ambassador for Business in Heels, and as such, you are a great role model of someone who set up this amazing business that's really successful. What great tips would you give for the women that are budding entrepreneurs that are starting out on their journey?
Well, I had an interesting meeting with someone once just before when I was raising money, and everything that he said. He was Joe from the juicer. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he was. I'll tell you about him. He was a middle-aged guy, really overweight, and sorry, he was a middle-aged guy, and he was overweight and decided to get in a car, drive around America, and just go on a juice diet, in which he had fresh vegetables every day, lost lots of weight, and he's become a very, very successful as a result of that, with deals with Breville and a big website and the rest of it. And I caught up with him, and he said to me, he used to, prior to that, be in investment and invest in different. He was an investment banker and invested in different businesses. And he said to me, if you're going to go for a round of investment, he said, make sure you go for the most amount of money at the beginning, because they're buying the dream. And it's very hard second time around to get more money. And I thought that was a good tip if that's what you're going to do. And obviously, you can keep the business and have it owned wholly, then that's better. But not all of us can do that. So, but then he said, the thing about a good business when you're starting up, and given that you just need to know the figures of the number of people that fail, is that having a very good idea, that's obvious, but something where there's a need, where you feel there's a need, having enough money to make it happen a reality. There's nothing worse than having this fantastic idea that you actually can't turn into a reality because of funds. And the other tip was, the other thing he was saying is you need. He used the word balls of steel, and then he went, no, there's one more thing. There's luck. And I think there's a lot of things there, but they're tips, because if you think what you need to be successful, um, then you can galvanise yourself in that direction, and I think being brave, and not being too scared to have a go, and really backing yourself, because I think there are real joys of running your own business and being entrepreneurial. You get to set up your own business with your own values and your own the people that you want around you. You get to grow something and watch that happen, which is a really dynamic experience. And hopefully you're really successful, and it brings you the money and whatever it was that you wanted from the business in the first place. So that's why so many of us sort of give it a go, and it's great seeing more and more women doing it. And I think also the internet, because of the fact that everything has changed so much, there is so much more available for us in terms of resources at much less of a price than previously. So, like, for instance, this guy Joe, the juicer, he's told me he spent $400,000 on his website, because back then actually websites were super expensive to build. Well, now you can get one for free on Wix. There's just everything's changing. Technology is allowing us to do so much more at less cost, and so therefore the good ideas are having a chance to come through and see the light. And you're seeing businesses that have got those good ideas build really rapidly, and that's great. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's fabulous, Robyn. And we're so delighted to have you on board as an ambassador. And Robyn's
Likewise.
yeah, so Robyn will be contactable through our website if people want to ask her questions. Although please don't inundate her. And we just love everything that you're doing with Foyster Media, so that's great.